All right, today I want to help you find some really great PPC ad copy ideas from voice search queries. You can really find some great ideas just from your search query reports. So you can see I've downloaded one already. To follow along or do this yourself, you'll want to download your own search query report. And this begs the question, why would we want to look for voice searches for ad copy ideas? Why don't we just make them up from what we know of our customers and what they're searching for? And the reason is with voice search, people tend to use longer question type phrases, and these phrases tend to reveal intent more clearly. So basically, they're giving you more information about what's going on in their head that sparked their search for the information they're looking for. This is great as a search marketer, of course, because we're always trying to mirror what's going on in our searchers' heads and increase our click-through rates because we're providing them exactly what they're looking for. So I'm going to show you how to do this here. You can download your own search query report. At any level, I would recommend at least 30 days of data, depending on the size of your account, how many impressions you get. But typically at least 30 days of data would be good because you want enough kind of data to sift through and find some good ideas there. The first thing I do with my report is I want to filter from largest to smallest impressions. I'll get rid of this total row here. And that way I'm kind of seeing what's popular first. But I don't want to look at all my queries. I only want to look at obviously longer tail natural language queries. So I want to create a row here that's going to filter by number of words. And the way I do that, I actually pull from this formula in Excel. It counts the number of words in Excel. You can see here I just bookmarked the Google search. Obviously, you can save this somewhere else if you want to. But make it easily accessible and then copy and paste into your spreadsheet. The one thing you'll have to change here from the default is the cell that it's looking at. So it's not looking, you don't want it to look at A1, you want it to look at, here it's B3 for my search query. And that should say 3 when I hit enter, and it does. And so you just want to populate that down. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to filter out for anything greater than 5 words. Google and Microsoft have both done research that show voice searches tend to be about 4.2 words or longer. So you definitely want to filter, for longer phrases like I did here. Ultimately, you're probably wondering, like, how can I tell if something's a voice search or if it's typed? Because people can type long phrases too. The answer to that is you really can't. So what we're really looking for, even though I say, we're looking at voice search, we're really looking for phrases that seem like natural language. Because like I said before, the natural language really is what gives the intent of what the search is thinking about, right? They're longer, they're more detailed, and that's really what we're looking for. One way you can do this and filter even through these words is to use the question words, right? The who, what, where, when, why, and how. Of course, you could spend a long time kind of, going down this data and looking. But people that use natural language and voice search tend to use question words a lot, right? How to play the blues on guitar. Of course, it could be a voice search, could be a type search, you don't know. It just makes it more likely that it's more natural language and going to show you, what they're looking for. So I'll just run through a few examples of ideas that we might find as we go through. So I'm going to just type the question word what, and that's going to bring up a lot of options here. And as I look down through, I can see stuff like, what's the best way to learn electric guitar? Well, that automatically sticks out to me as, a really good option for ad copy and saying, the best way to learn guitar might be my headline. if I have an ad group, that's focused on learning guitar. Another example here might be where can I get online guitar lessons, right? It's showing location intent, right? So you might use an ad customizer or something like that to say, learn guitar from blank, a city or a state or something like that. You might test that out. Where do I start? You might come up with something like how to start learning guitar. Something like that could be a good idea for a headline or description. And then let's look at one more. How about how? How is going to give us a lot of options here. I can already see off the bat, how to play blues guitar for beginners. So, this is showing in searchers' heads that they have like a level in mind, right? Like beginner, intermediate, advanced. And so, not only in your ad copy, but in your ad extensions where they allow you to put multiple options like call outs and things like that, you can say beginner, intermediate, advanced, things like that. And that could be a good test to run as well. I want to show you one test that I came up with from this data that I found. And that is in a blog post that I Granular blog. And I used this one test to improve my ad performance by 35% over what was already the winning ad for a pretty long time. I'm going to scroll down here and show you the results here. You can see here what I did was I basically took the concept I found in voice search of learning to play guitar at home. I found that was sort of a common theme I found in multiple queries. And it just stuck out to me as something that really showed intent with searchers that I thought might work well. So you can see what I did here is I took the generic keyword phrase that's usually in H1 and I moved it to H2 and I just said learn to play guitar at home in H1. And my results here, you can see this click-through rate is way higher, 4.59% versus the second place, only 3.14. And then ultimately, if I scroll over here, the ultimate metric for us here was impressions to conversion. You can see the conversion rate was about the same, but because the click-through rate was so much higher, we had a 35% improvement in impressions to conversion overall for that ad. So you can see there, really simple, right? I just dug into my long tail voice, natural language, whatever you want to call it, query data, pulled an idea out that I found there that basically my searchers told me that I should use, and I used it and I improved results big time there. So really interested if you come up with any ideas and you find anything in your data that you test and works for you. Love to hear about that. Leave a comment. And as always, please don't hesitate to reach out to us at Granular if you need help with your campaigns.